Hi guys, welcome to my video. So I'm so glad that you guys are here. Today we're gonna be doing a fall inspired black smoky eye. I kind of teach you guys how to use the black shadow and not be too scared of it. So I'm really excited to share this look with you. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. So let's just get into it. Let's get started, shall we? I already have my brows done. I did shave my face. So we've got some steps done. And I kind of want to do like a black smoky eye. Kind of something to transition into fall and what you could wear for a fall, like during the day. I would wear it during the day, but you can wear it during the day, at night to go out, whatever your preference was. So that's kind of what I want to do because I love a good black smoky eye. I feel like so many people are anxious to work with it, but I will teach you tricks to not make you scared, if that makes sense. So let's get started. So I am gonna start with my face. I feel like a lot of people would not start with their face, but I'm going to. And I can show you some tricks to like catch fallout, stuff like that, when we get to the eyeshadow. So first I'm gonna take you guys probably already know this, the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. I have been loving this stuff. Okay, so for primer as well as the spray, we're gonna be using the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. Sorry, my ring light is making the lighting super off, but you know, we're working with it. So I've been really liking this. I bought it for the wedding I did in August, and I think it's just more sanitary for people who are doing other people's makeup. So that's why I've been using it. But it smells so good. It leaves my skin looking so flawless. I've been loving this stuff so much. And then for foundation, we're gonna be taking the NARS, what is this called? Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I use this in my first couple of videos. This has been one of my favorites. We're gonna take it on a Morphe M439. Ignore the fact that they're dirty. But I kind of want my skin to be dewy today. And then the eye look to be completely matte. I just like that for some reason. If I'm doing like an all matte look, I want my skin to look dewy. I feel like my skin is about to look really good because I just shaved my face. Gotta be really careful around the brows since they're already done. I want to know kind of how you guys have been, what you're doing. I've been working my tail off, and I guess I should give a little background as to why I'm just now working, but I actually got laid off in March. I had started a new job in January, and I went back to work about a month ago. Yeah, a month ago. So I'm finally back to where I've been working and just kind of getting back into the swing of things. So that's why my YouTube has kind of been a little absent, you know, not being able to post as consistently because I honestly thought I would have more time than I did. So that's where it's at. That's what's the life update. So yeah, it's super fun. For concealers, I kind of want to use two. I kind of want a pretty bright under eye, so I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish in the shade Light Peach. And then I'm going to be taking the Jouer High Coverage Concealer, Liquid Concealer, yeah, in the shade, what shade is this? Lace, which is way too light for me. So you're just going to kind of take it in an upside triangle shape. So then on the T-zone, just to kind of give my face some dimension. And then really for the Jouer one, I just want to put a little bit on the under eye. Not a whole lot. This stuff, so full coverage. Like, please be careful when you use this because you do not need a lot. It's so thick. It's so much thicker than the Tarte Shape Tape. Whew. I almost can't wear it by itself. I kind of have to mix it in with something that has more liquid in it and is a little bit more sheer because it just very high coverage. So I'm just going to take my Real Technique sponge and just blend it out. So we're just going to set the under eye now, and I'm using the KVD Vegan Beauty. I'm sorry. I think last video I used this, I said it completely wrong. So it's the KVD Vegan Beauty Shade and Light Contour Duo in, I think the shade Lyric. Yeah, the shade Lyric. So we're gonna take that with a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH07 and really get under there and set under the eyes. I kind of like to look up just so the creasing will not be as bad if you're looking straight ahead. I really don't want to set anything under my eyes with crease in it because then the crease is going to be there all day and it's going to get worse as you wear. So kind of just make sure that everything is set. Then I take a little bit in other places that we put the concealer. Again, sorry if you hear noise. There was a lot going on in this household today. Okay, so this, I've been using this powder for probably a couple weeks now. I did buy it. It was a splurge. So this is not a good purchase for me. I should not have done it, but I did. So don't come at me for it. But it's a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, and I got the shade Medium. So I kind of want to set my face with this today. I'm probably going to use 2 powders today, but I got a lot on the freaking, no, I got a lot. So the rest of the face. Oh, and this is the Morphe E41. It's a very big powder brush. Okay, so once that all is set, I mean, honestly, it makes your face so flawless. Like, it's beautiful on its own, but I kind of want to add some glow back into my skin. So I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Luminous Light. This does not have a lot of coverage to it, so I feel like fine putting it on my face, but just like giving it, if you can tell the difference, giving it just a little bit more glow. That's kind of what I want to do. Just like very lightly do it. For bronzer, I'm gonna take the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in the shade Tantastic. This thing has been so used and abused. So I love this stuff. And I'm gonna be using a Morphe R2 to bronze my face up and kind of bring some life back to it. And then we're gonna contour, and we're just gonna use the Shadow Play shade from the KVD Vegan Beauty Shade and Light Duo. We're gonna take it on a Morphe R10, kind of tapered contour brush. I'm using a very light amount. And just, when I contour, I like to measure from, or start it at where my ear connects to my cheekbone, like the top of my ear, and go halfway where it meets the corner of my lip. And just kind of also brush it up. Just kind of give me a more sculpted look. I don't know if you can tell the difference between the two, but definitely this one looks a little bit more contoured and chiseled, while this one is just a little bit more round. And really take your time with this step. You don't want to use too much powder at one time and make your face look muddy. You kind of just really want to use the smallest amount and build it up. Okay, took some on my forehead, and we're just gonna use the littlest bit and go down the sides of the nose. Just kind of did that. And I'm gonna do it a little bit on my lip, or under my lip, to give the effect of bigger lips, and on my jawline, because Lord knows we need to get rid of that double chin. For highlight, I want to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in That Glow. I used to use this all the time. As you can tell, my two favorite shades. I'm gonna take a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH09 and take the shade Dripping in Gold and Bubbly. Mix them together and just kind of put that on the highest points of my cheekbones. Oh yeah. Put a little bit on the forehead. Just kind of connect it together. Do the other side. I feel like this video might be a little bit longer than my previous ones have been, so apologize for that. But this is more of a step-by-step. Okay. Then for blush, I want to take the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. Kind of want a little bit of warmth to my skin since we're going in with some dark colors. So we're just going to start at the very back of the cheekbone and work our way to the front and on the apples. Again, kind of want to keep that sculpted and lifted effect. So we're going to be, you know, trying to bring as much product back to bring the face up. Okay. That is that. Everything's looking pretty good. I want to go in with some brow gel before I start moving in with the eyes. So I'm going to be using the Glossier Boy Brow. This is just a clear one. And I'm going to brush those brow hairs up. Kind of set them into place. Get them looking a little bit better than what they were. I need to get my brows done already, which is crazy. So before we move into the eyes, I kind of want to reset my face with the Hangover RX spray, just to kind of set those powders in. Really get them, making it look more skin-like as opposed to powdery. So while that is drying, I kind of like to take a little bit of my beauty sponge and just kind of go back into it. Set everything. And so the secret to what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna put some powder under our eyes to catch any fallout that is going to get under the eyes, so we don't have like black under the eyes. It'll remain bright. So I'm gonna just take the Too Faced Born This Way powder and put a little bit on the cap, and then take my sponge, probably just one side, really put that under the eye just to make sure we catch anything that might, you know, fall down. The eyeshadow palette we're gonna use today is the One Size Visionary palette. So excited to be using this. It's so beautiful. I have used it before. As soon as I got it, I could not stop using it, so I've been using this a lot. So I kind of want to use some of the warmer tones like the Suede Charm and some Booked and Brownie, and then we're going to go in with this Turban Legend. So we're going to kind of mess with this. So with the Morphe M554, I think, very fluffy blender brush, we're going to take the shade Suede Charm. Oh, I forgot eye primer. Okay, let's do eye primer really quick. For eye primer, we're gonna use the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I'm just gonna take some with my finger, even though I just got my nails done. Try not to. I probably don't need a whole lot, but I'm just taking some. Just a little bit. And then we're just gonna set it. We can just take this powder that's left over on the brush and just set it a little bit so we don't have any major creasing. So we're gonna take that Turban Legend shade, and this is gonna act as our transition shade. So really this is gonna be the shade that kind of starts for the base of everything. And I have been loving all of the new One Size products. So that's just gonna be our base shade. Okay, so for the next shade, we are going to use the shade Booked on this Morphe M518. A little bit of a smaller blending brush than the other one. And we're just gonna put this a little bit more into the crease. And kind of work it in. This is definitely more warm, but I kind of want to stay with that warm shades to then move to the black. And I don't really ever mess with black that often, but I think, you know, it can be done. You don't have to be afraid to use it. So that's why I wanted to do a look with it, because you can go about it smarter ways. Like, one of the smartest ways to do it is to have this powder under your eyes. That way it catches it. That way you're not afraid you're gonna mess up the rest of your makeup. Also, if the lighting's changing, it's getting dark outside, so it's a little bit different. I am using a ring light, but the window is open, so it could be getting a little darker, so I apologize. The colors blend literally so beautifully together. I have no words for this palette besides it's so good. It would be so good for if you're just getting into makeup and you want just like a beginner's neutral palette with a little bit of pop of color. I would really suggest this. And it's kind of inexpensive for products that are on Sephora, so do it. Okay, so we're gonna take the Morphe E18. It's a very small precision crease brush. And we're gonna take the shade Brownie. And I don't know how well this is gonna do, but I kind of really want to focus this on the actual crease instead of bringing it too far up, just go in with a very light hand and map out where you want that color to be. And then slowly blend it out. Kind of like that. I hope you can see that. So we can take that 518 again and just make sure we blend the edges. You can really build up the color too. So as deep as you want. But what we want is we want it to be the darkest on the lid and kind of gradually get lighter. So that's the main goal. That's why I'm being so precise with the placement of the shadow. Now we're gonna take the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH33. It's pretty flat on the sides and a little bit fluffy. So we're gonna go in with that black. Now the trick to the black is to use a very light hand and build the color up. Don't just, you know, dip your brush in it so much and then try to put it on your eye and blend it out. That's not the way that you use the black. The way you use the black is very gently, small amounts. So I'm gonna take literally like that much and tap it off. And I'm gonna start placing it on the center of the eye and just kind of patting it in. I think another good trick is to use a more fluffy blending brush as opposed to a more flat brush, because it's not going to put as much pigment there. It's going to really buff it out. So that's why I suggest that. And then I'm literally, that's all I'm going to do for right now. Just literally put that amount. We're going to take the E18 that we used just a few minutes ago for the dark brown and just slowly blend the two together. I love this. So cute. Literally just taking a little bit of that brown, trying to mix it in with the black. And blend it. You can keep going back in, building the color up to the intensity that you want it, and then blending it out. So that's kind of what it's looking like at the moment. Take a little bit of that book shade. On the 518. Really do. Oh yeah. So cute. Okay, so we're just gonna do the other eye and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we have both the eyes done, and honestly in camera it's looking a little bit splotchy and you're not really getting to see the depth in here, but in person it's like so beautiful. Just kind of really deepen this up really quick. Yeah. So it's really dark, sultry, beautiful. I'm feeling it. And so we're gonna do some liner. We're gonna take the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner. It's a felt tip liner, which I really love. And we're gonna do like the thinnest line, and we'll come back. Really thin line, you can barely even see it, but it's really gonna help me with the lash band. So, okay, so we're just gonna apply some lashes. I'm gonna be using the House of Lashes Iconic Light. I've already used them before, they've already been trimmed. So we're just gonna pop these on our eyes and be right back. Okay, so lashes are on. I wiped away the powder. You can see the glow's still there. I did kind of have to touch up a little bit with the blush, but that was kind of it. Now we're gonna move on to the lower lash line. So we're gonna be taking kind of the same colors, but I think the main goal of this whole thing is when you are using the black, you need to get it the tightest to that lower lash line as possible. So we're just going to take the Morphe M432, which is like a little flat definer brush, take a little bit of that Turban Legend, and get as close as possible to that lash line. Instead of closing it off and going all the way in, I'm just going to stop about 3/4 of the way so we can really make sure the eye remains widened. I kind of took that one all the way in on accident. Because we're going all the way in with it, but that's fine. It's cute. The Morphe F36, which is a very small blending brush, and we're going to take that suede cream that we used at the beginning for our transition shade and blend it out. I really want to make sure I get as blended as possible under the eye. And honestly, if you don't want to go this dark under the eye, you could have gone with the darkest brown that we used, the brownie shade, and did that instead of black. So just some little tips. So we are gonna do some liner, and so I'm gonna take the One Size Point Made liner in the shade Busty Brown, and I like to use a brown pencil liner instead of using a black one with these kinds of looks, so it doesn't necessarily go too dark. So we're just gonna use the brown little pencil and take this blender and go under in the waterline under the eyes. So then we'll just do some mascara under the eyes. For mascara, I've used the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I told you guys in my last video that this was probably my favorite thing that I tried out of that video, and I've been using it ever since, have not stopped. So I'm just gonna put a little bit under the eye, or on the lower lash line. I want to keep it pretty nude, so my go-to nude is like nude combo has been this right here. So I'm gonna go in with the KKW Beauty lip liner in the nude 1 shade. And we're gonna line our lips. Have been overlining my top lip, which is something that I've really never done before, but I've really kind of been liking it. So then we're going to take the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Kim KW. It's a little bit more of a warmer nude, and I just put this over top. Okay. And then lastly, we're just gonna set our face, and this will be it. All right, guys, and that is it for the final look. I hope you guys really enjoyed this look. It's kind of a fall inspired as we're getting into the colder season. It did hit September, so I've transitioned. I'm like done with summer, let's move on to fall. So this is kind of my fall inspired look, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.